Welcome back to our coverage of the 2025 Warsaw Security Forum. Of course, we have many topics highlighted here, one of them being preparedness for the health system in the case that a conflict turns hot and the increasing threats that we're facing from Russia. I'm now joined by the World Health Organization's Nino Berdzuli. Thank you for joining us. And could you tell us how are preparations going here in Poland to prepare for potential armed aggression?
Thank you so much for invitation to comment. First of all, today we are facing the Polish crisis. It's a combination of the wars, the cyber threats, it's the fake news and the disinformation, and we are facing it all. So in this reality, it is very important that we have the emergency preparedness of the health system, and it is non-negotiable because the health system is our frontline defense. When we are talking about the preparedness, it is very important that we are talking not only about the stockpiling, emergency stockpiling of the drugs and supplies or the contingency protocols. WHO advises and promotes the all hazards preparedness, which includes the ensuring that the continuity of care, even when there is a destruction or the damage of the health infrastructure or there is an interruption of the supplies. We are advising to include in the preparedness the protection of the health workers and the patients, maintaining essential public health functions such as infectious diseases surveillance and the outbreak response and the vaccinations, and also managing the mass casualty events. So in this context, of course, it is very important that we have the emergency plans, we have the safety checks and the regular drills so that we know whether or not these emergency plans actually not on the paper only, but they are working in practice. We spoke and we talk always about the vulnerabilities of the health system that the COVID-19 pandemic exposed us and exposed the health systems. But we should not also forget about the lessons learned from the COVID-19 pandemic. It's about the power of science, it's about power of the strong communication, collaboration, and the collective actions. And no country in this context and the reality that we are facing now can prepare fully alone, and it is very important to have the cross-border cooperation, to have the trust and the coordinated actions among the governments, the public health authorities, humanitarian actors and the international community. This is all very important.
Tell me, is there a sense of urgency since the latest acts of provocation against Poland, Romania, Estonia with the violations of their airspace? Is this somehow made the situation more urgent?
I think, again, I have to reiterate that, we are facing the multiple emergencies. It's a war, it's a cyber, attack, cyber threats, and we should not underestimate the fake news and the disinformation. And I think, we are talking about, of course, the preparedness of the health system, the hospitals, which are all very important, but we need also to take into consideration the effects of the disinformation. And we feel it, we see it. Disinformation fuels the vaccine hesitancy. Disinformation fuels, all this, the fake news around the various health issues, but and delays the action. So we need together to fight, these threats that is called the disinformation. In European region, in 2024, we saw the unprecedented increase of the measles cases in the last decades, fueled by the disinformation and the vaccine hesitancy and the delayed action. So this results in the concrete risks to the children, to the adults, to our population, and cross-border security. So it is our collective fight, for the disinformation and the fake news. And WHO here developed very important tools on the infodemic management that we are working with the countries to use it, to work with the healthcare providers so that they are confident addressing the concerns of the parents, concerns of the population, the public about the vaccines safety, but also working with the platforms so that this fake news and the false information is tackled right at the root cause.
Absolutely, very important. Dr. Nino Berdzuli, thank you so much for joining us. Again, back to you in the studio. This was from the Warsaw Security Forum 2025.